welcome back to the cottage if you're a returning viewer, and welcome to the cottage if you're a first-time viewer. We have made it to episode 20. It has taken me a year and a half to get here, but we've made it to episode 20. I realize I just podcast episode 19, I think about a week ago, or a little more than a week ago. And I was looking at the calendar as we were, I was planning the KAL that I talked about last time. And I realized that I wanted to kick it off on the first day of summer, which is the summer solstice is tomorrow. This is the 20th. The summer solstice is tomorrow, June 21st. So I wanted to hop on here and just do a quick recording. I have something out of my bags, and so I wanted to get on, remind everybody about the KAL, let you know the name that I chose, announce the winner of the I'd asked you if you wanted to be in a drawing for a prize to give me suggestions for KAL names. Turns out I didn't use any of the KAL names. There were some really cute ones and creative ones, but the other morning I was laying in bed and just thinking about the KAL and what I was wanting to make and how over summer I am. And if you're joining us, let me back up. The whole point of the KAL is just get through summer, just ignore summer and get to fall. So my goal is to knit all fall things all summer long, and then when fall gets here, I've already got a wardrobe, a stash of stuff that's made that I can pull from. So as I was thinking over the KAL, I was trying to rack my brain, because when something hits me, it hits me, and I know, oh, that's it. That's the great fit for me. Well, as great as the names were, nothing was just clicking with me. So I was laying there thinking and tossing around the ideas of the ones that had been suggested, and the phrase SLIPsummerKNITfall came to me, and I thought, that's exactly what I'm doing. I want to slip summer and knit fall. So it's kind of a twist on slip one, knit one, or slip one, knit two, whatever. So that is going to be the name of our KAL, SLIPsummerKNITfall. So thank you to everybody who played along, though, because I had fun talking with you. And then I realized at some point in the Ravelry thread, I shouldn't be responding. I should just be liking, because that was going to mess up my random number generator. So I do have a name that I picked. The random number generator picked a number, and I'm going to give that to you a little bit later in the show. So yeah, the whole point of podcasting 1 week later than I did last week is just to get this KAL going, moving, and let you all get inspired to knit those fall things. And you know what? In some points of the world, some locations of the world, you are in fall right now. Play along anyway. Whatever you're knitting that has to do with fall or cooler weather, just go ahead and put the hashtag SLIPsummerKNITfall. Definitely double dip. Definitely tell your friends that are knitting sweaters or socks or shawls or anything for cooler weather. Tell them, hey, you should use the hashtag SLIPsummerKNITfall, and tell them to join us over here on the podcast and make new friends, because isn't that what it's all about? And so in saying all of that, in case you are new, just let me say you can find me on Ravelry as Ruby Moss Cottage. We also have a Ravelry group, Ruby Moss Cottage. Would love to have you join us. And I'm going to be starting 2 threads there, one for chatter and one for non-chatter. Prizes will be drawn randomly from the non-chatter thread. So, and I'm going to be so lax on this. I don't even care if you finish it. If you're just knitting something for cooler weather and it puts you in a happier place, then post it on the non-chatter. And every few weeks, as prizes arise or come in, I'm going to just draw. I'm not going to wait till the end to draw. We'll do some at the end, but I'm going to sporadically draw. Probably for every podcast that I do, I will have drawn a winner, or a recent winner. So I just think it's going to be a fun KAL to do with each other. And you can also find me on Instagram as Ruby Moss Cottage. Feel free to follow along. Feel free to subscribe here. And we will be able to be encouraged by what each other is doing. And I was in Chick-fil-A this morning. I just love crofters. They are just the coolest bunch of people. Aren't we just the coolest bunch of people? But I took the Grandies to Chick-fil-A. I have all 3 of them today. The littlest one is down for a nap right now. So it's a little quieter than normal. I'm going to try and get this over and sealed up before he wakes up. But I took all 3 of them to Chick-fil-A to play. And so they could eat and play. It's 90 degrees, or it was 95 at the time. And so we went to an indoor Chick-fil-A, obviously it was an indoor Chick-fil-A, indoor play area for them so that they could play and work off some of their aggressive energy. But there was a lady there, and she said, and if you're watching, welcome. My name is Joyce. After I left, I thought I didn't even introduce myself. She asked me if I made my cardigan that I have on. And, you know, it was just so sweet of her to stop me and recognize the work that went into this. So I was telling her the pattern, and I was telling her about our podcast. And so I encouraged her to hop on here because I told her I'd be talking about it. And so hopefully she is. If you're the lady I talked to at Chick-fil-A, please leave a message below. Or if you're on Ravelry or Instagram, let me know. It's the same Chick-fil-A I go there a lot with the grandkids because they can play inside, like I said. So the very last December, I guess that would have been 2015, my daughters and I met at that Chick-fil-A and let the Grandies play, and then we were brainstorming the podcast that I was running ideas by them. And there was a lady sitting in the booth behind us, and when she got up to leave, she stopped at the table and she told me she had overheard us, and she was really encouraging. I don't even know if she watches the podcast. I told her at that time that we were starting, it was going to be Ruby Moss Cottage, and you know, when we were going to try and go live, and if she could, or not live, but we were going to drop the first podcast, and if she, you know, please follow along. But she told me before she walked off, she said, you just got to take it one stitch at a time. And that is where my ending, and all you do, take it one stitch at a time. That's where it came from, because that really has kept me going a lot through this podcast. You know, instead of getting overwhelmed, I just think, okay, just one stitch at a time. Sometimes on projects that I'm doing that seem overwhelming, and it's just like endless rows of stockinette, and you just think, one stitch at a time, one stitch at a time. So she was a great inspiration, and so this Chick-fil-A is a great place for crofters to hang out, because this is the second time that someone has stopped me, either about my conversation about crafting or what I'm wearing that has been crafted. So yeah, that was just a fun little thing. So let me go on into what is out of my bags. This is the pan cardigan, and I know this is just the cover of the pattern. Their pattern doesn't have pictures to it. It was a kit that I bought. It was in an envelope, a big brown envelope, and the brown envelope had a picture on it, but I've since thrown that away. I'm going to put in a fun little video here, and that my Grandy took this morning, my oldest granddaughter took of me this morning. I'm going to put it right here so you can see the full effect of it. am so in love with this thing. I like everything. One thing I did do differently is the sleeves. The pattern called to stitch up the sleeves all the way. I kind of liked the belled look. So I just went ahead and single crocheted an edging around the sleeve, and I just make that just kind of a belled look. Other than that, I think that's the only thing I changed about it. And I do have to give a shout out to a lady on Instagram, and I do not remember her name, so I'm going to have to look that up and have that down here for you. She did these colors, and she is actually the first pan cardigan that I saw that I said, I want to make that. So I copied her pattern. I think the only thing different is she did a little bit of this. This is not part of the kit. You get a solid color as part of the kit. So I ordered an extra ball of the sprinkles, hand-painted sprinkles, and one ball gave me several I'm going to try and stand up here so you can see. I added them sporadically, and then I added some fringe to the end. But yeah, she, I think, had also done some of this netting or webbing up here in this color, but I didn't have enough. I only had one ball, and it just didn't have enough up there. So other than that, but yeah, she was really friendly when I talked to her about, sorry about all this. She was really friendly and helpful and encouraging. So yeah, check out her feed. She's got a great feed of inspiration. But this is the pan cardigan, so it is my very first crocheted project. If I can do it, anyone can do it. All you need to know how to do is double crochet and chain and single crochet. That's it. The pattern is written perfectly. It is, I'm going to see if it's for beginners, because when you're online and you're ordering, it tells you if the patterns are for beginners or intermediates or advanced. I would have to say this is a beginner, but I'm trying to see. It doesn't really tell you here that I'm seeing right off, but I would definitely consider myself to be a beginner. You know, I can crochet, I can do the basic stitches, but lining things up, I've just never done a garment. I've crocheted blankets, pretty easy, pretty straightforward. I have crocheted a little, I have a beach bag that I made. I think I may have crocheted, no, I want to say I crocheted a hat for my oldest granddaughter when her first winter, but someone walked me through that every step of the way. So I'm not an accomplished crocheter by any means. Knitting is much more my groove. So in saying all that, I'm saying you could do this. But I don't know. When I was doing it, I thought, this is going to be my cover-up. I just love this. This is going to be my summer cover-up. I may still do that. However, it's cotton. So when it gets wet, it's going to grow. But I've had fun wearing it, because like today, it's hot. And I'm the type of person, I can be really hot outside, but inside here or at restaurants or in shopping centers, I'm cold. So this isn't too hot to where when I'm going from car to building, it's too hot. But yet it's just enough warmth when I'm in somewhere that it is warming up. And I know that, yes, because I've had it on just about every day since I've finished it. But yeah, so it's the pan cardigan. And I'm going to be ordering more from We Are Knitters. The prices are not bad at all when you get everything. And I don't remember what this cost because I had it for probably a month before I started working on it. But like, if their pattern range for a garment is $1 to $120, when that's your needles, your pattern, your yarn, and it's a well-written pattern, I'm assuming all of them will be as well-written as this. you know, I just, that's a win-win. So, yeah. So that is what is out of my bags. This is the only thing out of my bags right now, but I'm quite pleased with it. It does, I mean, it sits on me nicely. I had a t-shirt underneath of it yesterday, and it didn't seem to slide as much. Today I have like this little tank top, so it has slid off of my shoulders a bit, but that doesn't bother me at all. Anyway, I am going to read my notes here. I'm excited about my notes. I'm also, this is so funny. Okay, so I found this new podcast, and her name is Carmen, and she is the New Leaf Podcast. So, this, Carmen, is for you. I just know how much you care about what I'm drinking and what mug I'm drinking it out of. This is from Starbucks. I got it several years ago. It's a kitty cat playing with a ball of yarn. And Carmen, I love it. It's one of my favorites. And I'm drinking cinnamon rooibos chai tea. I know you care. I about cracked up. I was watching her podcast, and she stopped to take a drink, and she said, I don't know if she told us what she was drinking, and she said, I don't know why I did that. It really irritates me when people do that on podcasts. Like, I care that that's their favorite mug and and what their favorite tea is. And I busted out laughing because I just thought that I still think it's hilarious. So I messaged her and I told her I thought that was just so funny, and that I was going to dedicate that segment of what is in my tea bags to Carmen. From now on, anytime I say what is in my tea bags, I'm going to think of Carmen. But check her out, because that is it's a good podcast. She's very informative and very enjoyable. I like binge watched her when I found her. I just one after another kept watching him. She does a lot of dyeing of yarns, and it's all natural. And so now she's got me wanting, I've got some skeins of like a pack of skeins of yarn that I bought a while back because I just wanted to dye some for myself. And now I think she's got me to wanting to do that, to want to just dye me up some yarn, and not to sell for any means, because I like I would have time for that. No, I don't. So this is what is out of my bags. The only thing that is out of my bags. What is in my bags is, let's see, I'm working on it. I'm housing everything in this evil little goat tote. Is that not adorable? You've heard me wax poetic about her yarns. I've been using them for years. She's donated to many of our KALs. My bag is full of yarn, needles, pattern, and that is just annoying, isn't it? I'm not showing you anything. Let me see if I can roll this over. I will take out my little notions pouch that I showed you last week. And I'll put the needle cases out and the pattern out. And maybe I can show you then the yarn. This wool. And then this, I'll just take out 2 balls. This is what I'm using for the, it's the sock arm sweater. And my pattern is not in color, but you'll get the gist. This is going to be the turquoise color, and then this is this. The arms are going to be this color by Quago. So this is what I'm doing it with. This is Dion from Evil Little Goat. It's her new color, her newest line. It's Roots, and it's a wool, and it's a, I can't say the word. I even went to have it pronounced for me, and I still can't pronounce it. So I'm going to just call it what I would call it. It's a rambouillet. It's a French sheep, or sheep from France. And it's a merino wool. Let me tell you, this is a dream to work with. So this is how far I am. I would have been a lot further. I would be 5 inches further had I not had to rip 5 inches out when I first started because it was too big. But this is going to be the base of it. Oh, I love it. It is so soft. Oh my lands, there is nothing rustic about this. It feels heavenly. And she has a multitude of colors to choose from. So, oh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So that's what's in my bags. I'm not, for the KAL, if you'll remember, I'm doing this. My whole goal was before fall to do 2 sweaters, 2 shawls. So I'm going to cast on a shawl this weekend, and I don't have it with me. I don't even have the pattern. But it was the I don't even remember which one I decided to do first, but I'll have it on the next episode. I will show you the shawl that I'm casting on, but I am hoping to make significant progress in this weekend. My husband and I are going to go away. We are major League Baseball fans, and we love the Braves. We love the Pirates. Pirates because we were born and raised in about an hour outside of Pittsburgh in West Virginia, and then we've lived most of our lives here in Charlotte. So we've just been we've evolved into Braves fans. But yeah, our goal, our bucket list is to hit all the major league ballparks. And so we're not going to a new ballpark this weekend. We're just going to go down to see the Braves play in Atlanta. But that will be fun. And when I'm traveling like that, that's 4 hours down and 4 hours back. And I'm usually knitting the whole time. So I will be doing that. I never knit at the ballpark. I'm into the game. I'm into the game, and I'm into the people watching and the food. So I don't knit. I wouldn't be against it. I mean, if I would love to talk to someone who did. I would love to watch them. But just not me. I'm not going to carry my knitting there. I enjoy the moment, the thrill of the game. That's what's in my bags. So if anybody wants to knit this sweater along with me, so far I'm up to the waist decreasing, and it's very straightforward. I'm excited to cast on the arms. That's kind of a different thing for me, the way she has you do that. So I'm looking forward to that. It's by Stephanie Lotven, Lotven on Ravelry. Stephanie Lotven. And it's the sock arms. And it's the adult. They actually have a children's pattern for sock arms. So, of course, I want to do that for the grandkids, too. And I have so much sock yarn that I can do that. This is all fingering. I don't know how this wool is going to be the base of the sweater, and then the Quago is going to be the sleeves. And I just hope this camera picks up how beautiful that's going to be together. So I don't know. I guess the different weights is going to be okay. We'll tell, time will tell. But I'm very, very, very happy with that yarn. So let me see. I've done out of my bags. I've done my tea bags. I've done what's in my bags. And then let me see what else. I am so excited because I follow this girl on Instagram. Don't even know her name. And I wouldn't want to mention her here. Just because I haven't asked her, but she journals. I don't know if she journals her knitting projects or if she just journals, but she has such beautiful journaling, which made me think, I want to do that. I journal all the time as far as my lifestyle goes, my life, my inspiration and my journey, my life journey. I journal that. But I don't have, and for the longest time I did the knitting bag book with Patricia. I've kind of gotten away from that, but I want to start that back, and I might even incorporate this into that, even though it's a little bigger. But I wanted to start journaling, so I went and I was at Hobby Lobby, and they had this cute thing. Seems to show up better on this side. This cute little notebook. It comes empty, and then you just buy all the fillers. So I bought the fillers, and I bought this that I could have some notions in. My first section is like my project pages. So I bought me some stickers, and I've started writing down the notes of my project. And I just wanted to have it all together for this first Slip Summer Knit Fall KAL. So I'll have all my notes here. So if I want to re-knit something several years down the road, I can just flip back to when I made it. That'll be fun. then, plus you get to buy stickers and paper and pens. I mean, that's me. Then the back section is, I wrote out the goals for this next year. When I was out with my back several weeks ago, I just really had a lot of time to think. And I just thought, I just seem to serve. And I just need to take some time this next year and love on myself. Not that I'm going to stop serving and loving, but I neglect myself a lot. And that's why I believe my back just said, enough, you're going. And so I had so much time to reflect. So I came up with some goals for the next year, just for myself, my personal dreams that I want to start chipping away at. And then, these papers say at the top, the heading is "Don't Quit Your Daydream." So then I move on to my podcast. And so I'm going to write my podcast notes. So I said, I had to tell you about this. When I'm looking down at my notes, it's just making this a little bit easier for me as I do the podcast. But it's a fun journal. And so if you're like me and you like notebooks and pencils and pens and stickers and doodling and, just start you a project notebook. It's been a lot of fun. So anyway, let's just move on. We're at 26 minutes and I thought I'd be in and out in 20 minutes and whoop, start editing. But no, haven't been that quick, has it? Okay, so I've done out of my bags. Now, let me, let's do the book bag, and then we'll go on and talk about the KAL winner. My book bag this week. Okay, so I read Between Earth and Sky. This is a very, very, very good book, and it is historical fiction. Back in late 1800s, early 1900s, about how they would take these Indian children and take them away from the reservations and try and reprogram them basically to function in a white man's world, and then how that all backfires, and really, really good, kind of heart-wrenching at times. But this came in, you've heard me talk many times about Once Upon a Book Club. So this came in that one. I've since canceled that subscription because there's another one out there. There's Julia's Book Bag that is on Instagram, and I've done one of hers. I really like her, so I just felt like I was getting in a rut. I felt like this was a little bit pricier for what I was getting out of it. It's fun to open random gifts, but it's also, you want those random gifts to you don't want the price tag to override the fun. And so I felt like it was kind of getting to that, but it's definitely, I don't regret it. I've learned of a lot of good authors this way. But yes, this is very good. And then this one, I have about 100 pages left in it to read, The Orphan's Tale. Very, very good. It is also historical fiction, but it's the World War II era. And it's about a traveling circus that's going through Europe. And it's Jewish fiction. And I know, if you listen to me talk about the historical fiction that I read, you would think that I'm a little bit morbid and that I like the dark side of life, but I really don't. It's just fascinating to me how we've either evolved or not evolved as humans, and just how people go through such tough times and they survive it, and they're all the better for it. I don't know. This era, I just like historical fiction. But, so this is very good. I'm at a really good point right now. It was really like, okay, the house is a little bit quiet. Could I read or do I podcast? Do I read or do I podcast? I chose you. But, so that's my book bags now. Okay, so the KAL. The winner for the KAL, even though I didn't choose the name or the hashtag, I thought they were all cute. So I just thought, well, you know what? These crofters took the time to communicate with me. I'm just going to draw randomly and give away a prize because Dion from Evil Little Goats had said, I want to give away a couple skeins of yarn. So just let me know the next time you do a giveaway, and to stop her from shipping to me and me to shipping to you, she would just ship it to you. So I chose, I think 7 between the podcast and the comments after on YouTube. And you know what? It just dawned on me. I don't know if anyone left a message on Instagram. I'm sorry. There were 7 entries. So random generator 1 to 7 picked number 1, and that was Traveling Pearls. Now you are Traveling Pearls on Ravelry. So I don't know if you're on Instagram. If you will reach out to me via message on Ravelry or Instagram, you can DM me on Instagram. Either way, I will get with you, get with Dion, and we'll get you your yarn. So now you'll have 2 skeins of this awesome wool to knit something with for the Slip Summer Knit Fall. Yay! You will love it. You will love it, and you will love Dion's yarn, I promise. So thank you to everybody who gave suggestions, and thank you for playing along. So yeah, but that was Traveling Pearls who won. So let me see. Oh, and I've had several people ask about my RMC pins, and I did not bring them in here, and I don't have a bag in here that has them on it. But my Ruby Moss Cottage pins that I showed in the last podcast, several of you have asked how to get them. I do not have an Etsy shop or anything like that, but I'm selling them for $10. So if you're interested, you can send me your PayPal email address either through Ravelry or Instagram. I will tell you I'm more active on Instagram than I am Ravelry, but you can go and you can message me either place and let me know you want it, and I'll get your information from you, and we'll get that taken care of. So I think that's it. I'm trying to look over my notes here to make sure that I haven't forgot anything, and it looks like we are finished with episode 20. So I can't wait to get busy on slipping summer and knitting fall, and I can't wait to see what all you all are going to knit up with that. And yeah, stay inside, cover up, cozy up. I'm in my living room right now. I forgot to tell you, because it was kind of just a spontaneous kind of thing, and then my nook, it seems like I fight with the light, and I don't even know. This window right here, you can see my, isn't that beautiful? This is my orchid. I have that one, and then there's a yellow one in behind it, but it's being washed out. I've had them for years, and this east-facing window they love, and so I just give them a little bit of water every 2 weeks, like 2 ice cubes worth. I don't even think I've ever fertilized them, and they bloom every year. I'm so excited, but I love them. So yeah, that's where I am. I'm not in a different house. I'm in the same house, but I am in my living room. And I didn't have to fight with the setup was so much easier because I didn't have to keep fighting with the lighting. So if this works, we may be podcasting in here for a little while, because seriously, it normally takes me 45 minutes to an hour to set up for podcasting, and this took me 5 minutes. I'm not joking. 5 minutes and I was ready to roll. So we may try this little corner out a few more times. But yes, I think that's it. So I'm going to get to my knitting. Oh, you know what? There is something here. I think I'm going to work on this the rest of the afternoon. If not this, then my knitting. But, you know, I finished my Cozy Memories blanket. I had started this quilt the very first episode of Ruby Moss Cottage. I think I was still cutting out the pieces. This quilt is a pattern by Alicia Polson. She's on Ravelry as Alicia Polson, but I think her website is Posy Gets Cozy, and she has a great blog. I have followed Alicia for years. Goodness, I bet it's been our Amelia is 6. I bet 7, 8, 9 years I followed her. I mean, I have stitched her crewel works. I have done her ornaments, her samplers. This is a second quilt pattern of hers that I've done, but I love Alicia. But she doesn't even know me, but you know, first name basis, Alicia. At least I haven't nicknamed her. But this is a quilt that I'm working on. So all I'm doing now, I've got it pieced together. All I'm doing now is going in, and see, I know so little about quilting that I'm going in and sewing up, quilting basically the top part. I'm not hand quilting, I'm machine quilting. Yeah, hand quilting is beautiful, but no, not enough time. So I'm either going to do that or work on my knit on my sweater, but there will be a cuppa, Carmen. There will be a cuppa, and I'm going to be enjoying my favorite teas. But I'm so glad to have got to spend this 37 minutes with you all. And so have fun slipping summer and knitting fall. And remember, in all you do, take it one stitch at a time.